Look at the device you are using right now. Inside its silicon heart, billions of microscopic switches are making a brutal, uncompromising choice. Billions of times, every single second. Yes or no? 1 or 0? True or false? We assume this binary dictatorship is the only way a computer can think. But what if our entire modern tech world is built on a massive historical mistake? Think about the modern computing landscape. Laptops overheating, AI data centers draining whole city power grids, and software constantly breaking due to mysterious memory leaks. We are told this is the cost of progress, but it isn't. It is the legacy cost of a catastrophic engineering fork in the road made all the way back in 1958. While the West gambled its entire future on standard binary bits, a rogue team of engineers at Moscow State University threw out the rulebook. They refused to think in simple black or white. They engineered a machine that operated entirely in the gray zone. This is the lost legacy of Saturn, the world's only functional ternary computer. Forget what you have been taught about tech history. What if this forgotten Soviet engine wasn't just a failed experiment, but a mathematically superior alternative? Did we build the best possible digital world, or are we trapped inside a trillion-dollar design flaw? Let's break it down. To see why binary is fundamentally flawed, we have to look past the software apps and look straight at the math. Every modern device relies on a bit. 2 states, 0 or 1. It is simple to build, but mathematically inefficient. Saturn used a trit. 3 states, -1, 0, and +1. Computer scientists call this balanced ternary, and it completely rewrites how processing logic works on a hardware level. There's an absolute rule in computer science called radix economy. It calculates the optimal efficiency for any computing base, balancing the complexity of the hardware with the density of the information it can store. The absolute mathematical perfect number for a computer base? It's Euler's number, E, which is roughly 2.718. Binary uses base 2. Saturn used base 3. Basic mathematics proves that 3 is closer to physical perfection than 2. Because base 3 is naturally more efficient, a ternary system packs more information into fewer components. Think about it this way. To write the number 100,000, a standard binary computer needs 17 digits of 1s and 0s. Saturn's ternary architecture needed just 11 digits. Fewer digits means less wiring, less traffic inside the chip, smaller physical footprints, and drastically less heat dissipation. But it gets crazier. Modern binary chips don't actually know what a negative number is. They require a clunky software wrapper called 2's complement just to track a minus sign. Every time your phone does subtraction, it has to use extra processing cycles to convert the numbers and track the negative flag. Saturn had a native -1 state baked straight into the hardware. Subtraction wasn't a separate multi-step headache. It was identical to addition. It flipped flags instantly. Shorter processing paths, maximum data stability, 0 wasted cycles. There is another fatal flaw in your modern computer, the von Neumann bottleneck. Your processor and your memory are separated. Every time a binary chip wants to execute code, it must constantly fetch data back and forth across a tiny wire bus. Over 95% of the energy in modern AI GPUs is completely wasted just moving data across memory lines. Saturn's balanced ternary logic allowed computation and memory to occur closer together. It processed information symmetrically. It didn't run on empty cycles. It didn't stall waiting for software instructions. So who built this masterpiece? The mastermind was a young, brilliant engineer named Nikolai Brusintsov. Working in a cramped, unheated Moscow lab in 1956, he had 0 access to high-grade Western transistors. The Soviet supply chains were a disaster, so he built a supercomputer out of electromagnetic junk. Instead of fragile transistors, he used magnetic ferrite cores and basic diodes. By linking two magnetic rings together, he exploited the physics of magnetic saturation. He could control electrical pulses in three directions: forward for +1, empty for 0, and reverse for -1. With cheap, crude components that Western engineers laughed at, Brusintsov created a machine that possessed total structural invulnerability. In the late 1950s and 60s, Western binary mainframes were notoriously fragile. Vacuum tubes burned out hourly, software crashed due to precision arithmetic errors, and memory lines glitched if the room got too hot. But the 50 Cetin units deployed across the USSR, they ran for 15 years straight in harsh, unheated university basements with virtually zero hardware failures. No rounding errors, no math overflows. It was an incredibly stable, indestructible architecture. So why are you using a binary device right now if Ternary was so stable? Simple. Politics. And corporate greed. Soviet bureaucrats didn't care about elegant engineering paradigms. They wanted simple, uniform mass production quotas. They looked at Saturn's low manufacturing cost and assumed it wasn't valuable. By 1965, the project was quietly defunded and buried. Meanwhile, Silicon Valley poured billions into perfecting the simple binary silicon transistor. Binary didn't win because it was better science. It won because it achieved massive economies of scale first. It became cheaper to mass-produce bad math. But let us play out the what-if movement. What if the Ternary timeline had won the standards war? Our modern tech landscape would look completely unrecognizable. First, your smartphone wouldn't overheat, and your laptop battery would last for days. Ternary logic gates process massive data arrays in a fraction of the steps, halting the global AI energy crisis in its tracks. Second, cyber warfare would be fundamentally crippled. Buffer overflows and arithmetic sign bugs, the exact entry points for the world's worst malware hacks, are structurally blocked by balanced ternary hardware. So, is our binary system actually a complete mistake? Here is the unfiltered, raw truth. Binary is the easiest version for humans to build, but ternary is the most stable version for the computer to run. Ternary computing has a hidden dark side that early engineers dreaded: combinatorial explosion. In a binary system, two inputs create only 16 possible logic gate pathways, like AND, OR, or XOR. A human engineer can easily map that out. In a ternary system, two inputs create 19,683 possible options. Programming this by hand in the 1970s would have stalled the software revolution for decades. But history isn't finished with base 3. Today, we are hitting the absolute physical limits of binary silicon chips. We cannot shrink transistors any further without quantum physics breaking the code. And so, the alternate timeline is waking up. Right now, global defense laboratories and research hubs, like the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, are building molecular memristors. These are advanced, power-sipping circuit elements that mimic human brain synapses. They don't just store zeros and ones, they switch between multiple resistance states natively in the hardware. Binary is officially hitting a wall. Our chips can't get any smaller without literally melting. To build the future of superfast AI, engineers are looking backward, straight at those lost Soviet ternary blueprints. So, should we kick binary to the curb and switch to base 3? Or are you too emotionally attached to your ones and zeros? Let me know in the comments, hit subscribe for more tech secrets, and remember, try not to think in binary. See ya!